Hey everybody, I'm here with Christian. Hello Christian.
Hello.
Poor Christian. He can't see, he's blind, aren't you? Like this is what I do to Amy. So if Amy's going, yes, it's because she can't see it. What it is I have mentioned it and I think you know what I'm talking about. I was watching a video, it came in and it was talking about this woman and she was called the Lady in Red and she was buried and I think she was buried in wine and it so happened that she was in this iron casket, burial, whatever you want to call it, coffin. And I was a bit taken aback that, well, what it basically said is a bit of history. It was in the middle of the 1800s. If you were poor, £2 for a wooden box. But these things, they're metallic grey. They cost about £100. So only people with money could really buy one of these. But they were also made because people were bodies were moving and diseases, and once you put them in this thing, it stopped the body decaying. So basically, it mummifies you once you're in this casket, in this metallic iron casket. And basically what it is there's a thing over their faces, so it almost looks like they're a deep sea diver in a way. This thing moves out the front and you can see their face inside.
Sarcophagus, doesn't it?
1 second, because yes, wait a minute, we'll get to that. Anyway, so I've got Christian back on. Yes, you said a sarcophagus. That's what I saw. So, but in a way, to be buried in one of those, they're quite like they're shaped round your body, but it reminded me a bit of the tombstones of Egypt. They're not the same, but they're a lot of them are similar. You know, the shape of them and everything. It mummifies. So
what if it's the opposite way?
They stopped making them, obviously, 50, 60 years later, but for this period of time. But I mean, they're quite amazing. Some of these caskets, these iron caskets, and you think they stop diseases. So why? I don't know why you'd want to open one up, because they've opened them up to look at them. But they remind me on the now is the Egyptian ones. So they're not the same, but they're similar. And you're like, wow.
Made in the same fashion.
Sort of. I mean, that one could be Roman-like, but they just reminded me. The Egyptian ones are painted, and I don't know if they're metal. Are they metal?
I'm not sure. No, I don't think they were.
Clay?
I think they were in various places. I think they're wooden.
Right. Well, the other ones were metal. So you could say someone had to be shipped in a boat, or a body has to go across countries. This thing preserves you, mummifies you, and stops any germs coming out. They started to uncover them because what people don't realise is cemeteries aren't that old. Yes, we all go to cemeteries and we'll get buried now, but in those days they had catacombs, they had places, sometimes they were churches and they haven't taken all the bodies, and now they're finding odd caskets. But they're just so sort of reminding me of the Egyptian ones, the shape and everything. There you go. But also look like deep sea divers as well. It's just the top of it. But I find that quite incredible. So, which one's older? That one or that one? Are they about the same time? So are those the Egyptians? Is that the only like the 1800s? Because I don't believe their history. And this was quite interesting. I'm just going to stop this for a moment. I'll go back to that bit there. People can just read that for a second in case. It's just little bits. And it talked about what you said, sarcophagus. There it is. It was shaped like a sarcophagus, weighed over £300 and cost $100. Wooden coffins cost £1 to £3, around £40 to $60 today. And then I haven't gone into them because often you get there and you think, well, where's the bit I want? I've seen it here, and there's a bit more here, but it says sarcophagus. So I thought, right, what's a sarcophagus? Those things in Egypt.
Isn't it? The funny thing is, they were made to preserve though, weren't they, when you think about it? Preserve.
Yeah, like, that's good technology. technology and everything.
Well, when you think about it, in this modern day age, they're talking about cryogenics to preserve the. Now, the idea behind the Egyptians was preserving. Was more or less a similar sort of idea when you think.
Yeah.
Preserving it for the future.
But I don't think they were to be opened. I mean, they're saying, oh, well, in this time, in the 1800s, there was cholera, there was this. So it kept all... So once it was sealed in there, say you were totally radiated, say, a nuclear... Whatever, you know, nuclear... Just the radiation. If you were put in one of those, airtight, no germs will ever get out. Even though it doesn't disintegrate, once buried, it will never release any toxins.
To me, it sounds more like a torture box.
I know what you mean. It's like all these people got buried alive.
Yes. Well, they used to put bells on the outside for people to ring if they were still alive.
Anyway, the video's finished now. I just wanted to point this out. I had never heard of these until I watched the video about... Yeah, I just didn't realise. Now I've seen it, I'm thinking, wow, they don't half remind me of... Where is it?
Sarcophagus.
Them. Yes. Anyway, just another piece of jigsaw puzzle to go in that jigsaw puzzle. No answers really, just more of it.
I think you find the 1800s a complete mystery.
Yes! Everything seemed to happen in the 1800s. Floods, all sorts of things. Maybe even the end of the 1700s. I just think the War of the Roses has something to do with it. And before that, our first set of kings, they were all ethereals. So that sounds like the Starfort people to me.
It was definitely turbulent times when you
I mean,
think of...
no one, you know, we today, me and Christian have had a really long talk, right? And this is the end of it, because now I want to make my video, because I'm going to have a hangout shortly. But, you know, if the Starforts were all working, no one's really talking about them. They'd have been absolutely magnificent. They're everywhere as well.
Power places.
There's more of them, probably, than there is pyramids.
I'd say so. Definitely.
You can see on some of it, it's brick, it's other things. They're all built out of all sorts of things. Even that's amazing. Like, you can't build all that in 5 minutes.
The thing is the sheer size of them.
That would take a long time to build. Then you've got Tartaria. What was it? It was bigger than the Holy Roman Empire, and all that's going on. Like, I'm like, oh, it's almost like overload.
Very much so, isn't it? Very much so.
It is. But we're going to finish now, Christian. Anything you want to say before we finish?
No, not really.
Thank you for being on the blind video.
That's okay.
Thank you, my darling. Mwah.
Bye-bye.